Hey there, YouTube. Crypto Force here again, bringing another daily dose of crypto. And do I have some news for you? Okay, today some pretty exciting news. Now, this is on the heels of last week. I talked about Mcash, the new official coin, cryptocurrency of Dubai, which is the first officially sanctioned cryptocurrency of a government. And today is, now I have seen this news about 2 days ago or a day ago, but I waited for more information to come out before I really want to talk about it. But it says the IMF could issue international cryptocurrency to replace the dollar. Now that is huge news. Now we'll talk about the positives and negatives of that in a second. First, if you don't know what the IMF is, it's the International Monetary Fund. Now what the International Monetary Fund is, it's sort of like the United Nations is for policing the world. You know, it has a bunch of countries that get together and they make decisions of, okay, yeah, you know, for instance, you know, when Iran was trying to make a nuclear weapon, you know, they discuss amongst each other, you know, what the penalties should be, how it should be handled, and now it's happening with North Korea. Now, you know, there's positives and negatives of the UN, but I'm not going to get into political stuff right now. Now, what the IMF does, it's made up of 189 countries, and they work together to foster a global monetary cooperation system, basically. And they help facilitate international trade. They try to promote high employment. They try to promote sustainable economic growth, and they claim to try to reduce poverty around the world. Now, whether that's being done or not, that's besides the point. But the point is, the IMF is pretty much the who's who of what kind of money is going to basically be the reserve currency of the world. Now that's what makes this so interesting, this what's been said here. Now Christine Lagarde, she's actually the head of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and she's actually encouraging banks and governments to not shortchange Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. Now to back up the statement that this article has, and I will put these links in the description below, but if we go to the Cointelegraph, Christine Lagarde says banks will adopt digital currencies in 5 years' time. Now that is, you know, that's big news. That is really big news. So let me get back to the other article. Now, what's the pluses about essentially cryptocurrencies? Well, if the IMF really, I'm trying to put this in a non-political way, but essentially what the IMF sees is the blockchain and decentralized currency being able to help manage the flow of money much better to different countries. You know, you're not having to try to figure out how to convert a dollar to a yuan or a yuan to a peso. It's just straight across with no borders. Now that's essentially the way Bitcoin was actually created to work and be totally transparent. With no outside help, it'd be a true free market. Now, the discouraging part of this, now remember, it's all encouraging that they're pushing cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and all this, but there's always a flip side to this. And the flip side of this, let's see where it says it. It says the difficulty with global currency is the centralization factor. So it talks about Bitcoin is a decentralized protocol that makes a truly free market that's based purely on consensus without price fixing. A globalized digital currency, while it provides decentralized security, would require the IMF to fix and regulate values in order to manage the flow of money in and out of different countries. Such a system would run contrary to the underlying principles behind Bitcoin. So, you know, the IMF's pushing this, but they also want to make sure they're there to do all the regulating and, you know, set all the laws up in every country and fix all the prices and who gets how much and all this stuff. And that's totally going against what decentralization's for. Now you got to remember there's a huge machine here, and whether we like it or not, the IMF is part of it, and you know, they really do run the economies of the world for the most part. So I hate to hear this news, but I'm happy to hear it. I think that those of us in cryptocurrency, you know, we can make, you know, good profit off of it. But I think the vision of Bitcoin is being lost, and it's being lost quickly as these big government entities are moving into the markets to talk about how they're going to regulate it. Now, like I said, I'm trying not to make this political. I'm trying to make it just strictly factual. But It says it right there. That's exactly what they want to do. Now, as we know, the dollar is the reserve currency of the world, and it has been since around 1972 or 74, when the British pound sterling lost its reserve currency status and the dollar became the reserve currency status. So, and it was around that era too that the gold standard went away. So basically, we could just print all the money we wanted, and everybody still, eats it up, even though it's just paper money that has no intrinsic value other than what psychologically we think it has. But it states in this article that the reserve currency of the world, which is the dollar, would no longer be the dollar. It would be essentially digital currency. And national currencies will be restricted to local markets. So a dollar can only be used in the U.S. You can't go to Canada. You can't go to Australia. You can't go to Mexico to use a dollar. You can only use a dollar in your local market. So that's essentially what this article is saying. Now, like I said, it's good news, it's bad news. If you guys have any more information about this, please feel free to put it in the comment sections below. Direct me to links to check it out. I love learning about this stuff. I actually studied economics in college for some time, so I understand how the whole thing works. I don't like that the IMF wants to come in and try to regulate everything, but I do like that they're pushing the cryptocurrency bounds, and that the president of the IMF is saying in 5 years' time we're going to be involved. Governments are going to be involved in cryptocurrency. So, that's a real short window to do a whole lot. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. If you guys have any questions, comments, please post in the description link below. And as always, guys, good luck trading. Don't panic sell, and make sure you do your research. And as always, good luck, and Crypto Force signing out.